Hello and welcome to Global Bike Trends. Today we're taking a detailed look at one of the most evocative models from Royal Enfield, the 2025 Bullet 250. If you're after a bike that blends timeless styling with everyday usability, this one deserves your attention. Let's dive right in. From the moment you see the Bullet 250, you're hit with the heritage feel. The classic teardrop fuel tank, the modest chrome touches, the round retro headlamp, all of it evokes decades of riding tradition. But don't let the vintage look fool you. There are meaningful updates beneath. For 2025, Royal Enfield has refined the chassis and ergonomics, ensuring that while the silhouette remains familiar, the ride experience is fresher. You get that upright rider position, wide handlebars, comfortable dual-seat layout, and a suspension setup that's tuned to handle real-world roads without being overly stiff. On the design front, the Bullet 250 is finished in muted, classy color options, with subtle graphics and steel fenders. It's not about flash, it's about character. The instrument cluster marries a big analog speedo with a small digital readout for essentials, preserving that analog charm while adding modern convenience. Moving on to key features. The Bullet 250 comes with a single-cylinder, air-cooled engine, Royal Enfield's hallmark for many years, paired with fuel injection for smoother responses and better efficiency compared to older carb models. The gearbox is a 5-speed unit, offering relaxed highway cruising. Braking is handled via a disc up front and, depending on market variant, possibly a drum or disc at the rear, with ABS standard, or at least available, in many regions. This chassis uses a twin down-tube cradle frame for rigidity and rider confidence, 19A³ front wheel and 18A³ rear, in many versions, giving it roadworthy proportions. Connectivity and gadgetry may be restrained, and this bike isn't about lots of bells and whistles, but features like a USB charging socket, in some markets, and switchgear with a vintage feel help bridge the retro-modern gap. Performance-wise, while the 250cc segment means this isn't a rocket ship, the Bullet 250's punch is perfectly adequate for city commuting, weekend rides and light touring. The torque is delivered low in the rev range, which means you don't have to wring it out to make good progress. The weight and geometry give it a composed ride, especially at moderate speeds, and it handles urban bumps, rough patches and corners better than you might expect from such a traditionally styled machine. The engine sound, that characteristic thump, remains part of the appeal, giving the bike personality. Fuel economy, although not official in every market, is reasonably good for the displacement, making the Bullet 250 a practical choice in addition to being fun. One caveat: if you're planning high-speed performance or aggressive riding, you'll find limitations in ultra-top-end pace compared to more modern sport-oriented machines. But that's not what this bike is about. It's about mood, character and usable performance. Now, from a pricing standpoint, while I don't have a confirmed MSRP specifically for a Bullet 250 in every market, pricing information for similar models gives context. For example, in Pakistan the 2025 Bullet 350 is listed at around PKR 1,276,900, so you can expect the 250cc variant to be somewhat lower, depending on local taxes, import duties and variant specification. This makes the Bullet 250 competitive in its class and appealing for riders looking for something classic yet practical. What are the unique selling points? First, the legacy. The Bullet name has decades of history, and that appeals strongly to riders who value heritage. Second, the blend of retro design with modern touches, and you get vintage looks without sacrificing usability entirely. Third, the ride character, the thumpy engine, upright ergonomics, satisfying control feel, it all gives you something different from the regular commuter bike. Fourth, practicality, manageable size, reasonable performance, and simple servicing make it attractive in markets where maintenance and dealer support matter. Finally, brand cachet. Owning a Royal Enfield means something to many riders. It's more than transportation, it's an identity. In conclusion, the 2025 Royal Enfield Bullet 250 is a compelling mix of style, character and usability. If you're a rider who values the feel of the classic machine, appreciates a decent engine with road-going manners, and don't need blistering sport performance, This bike ticks a lot of boxes. It may not be the most advanced machine on the block, but that's part of the charm, and it asks you to ride, rather than be ruled by menus and gizmos. Thanks for watching this review on global bike trends. If you enjoyed this look at the Bullet 250, hit the like button, subscribe for more bike deep dives, and let us know in the comments what you'd like us to review next. Ride safe, and I'll see you on the next one.